Food safety is a concern to me, and yes, it does affect where I buy things from. For example, there's some particular markets that I would go to, and I will see dumpsters full of rubbish right beside where the food is being sold, and I'd be hesitant to buy food from there. When I buy fresh salad items and fresh fruit from the market, because often the food is sometimes on the floor covered in flies, what I do when I get home is I sterilize it effectively using a couple of drops of Milton in some water, and then I wash my fruit and vegetables in that. Sometimes I also use vinegar, and I find it sterilizes your food and makes it a lot safer. I would tend to buy more cured meat so that I can be sure that even with the lack of electricity and not being in a fridge, it is going to be fairly safe to eat. I also look for location, and I would try not to buy where there's an open gutter, or also where women who have babies, because when the market sellers have babies and the babies go to the toilet, they change the nappy, clean the bottom and not wash their hand, and then they hand you the food.
When I was growing up, my mom would buy a lot of frozen vegetables and canned vegetables because she felt like that was safe and it was convenient and it was easy. And you didn't buy organic produce. That was not something that was readily available in every market, and you weren't paying as much attention. So I do think that now consumers are much more aware of things that go into their food. When I buy my milk, I make sure that it's hormone-free, and there are labels in California that say that your milk is hormone-free, as well as I make sure that my meats are antibiotic-free, that they aren't, the animals aren't being pumped with antibiotics, because then that goes into our systems, and I'm not interested in having that.
这个是肯定会考虑的。一家信誉好的商店，比如说它比较关注于环保，关注于食品卫生健康的话，我们会比较经常的光顾他们。跟10年比起来呢，现在的产品丰富了很多，它的各种样式，并且不同的季节都能买到自己喜欢的。但是呢，现在的食品跟10年前也有很大的一个区别，就是健康，它使用的一些农药啊、化肥这些比较令人担心。对于商品来说，购买的时候会考虑到一个品牌，因为品牌它代表着企业在这方面的一个完善性。当然，它的一个商品的一个外包装也是非常关注的，就是卫生有改进，就是食品不再像以前一样，就是很乱的放在地上啊，或者也没有保护。那以前的比如说有一些害虫啊，这种比如苍蝇乱飞啊这种情况都已经基本上看不到了。所以它的整个包装也比以前好了，然后卫生条件比以前好很多。
We tend to buy online. The reason we do that is really because of convenience. We can just, go onto the internet, buy it, and it turns up, in a couple of days' time at a particular point in time. So it's really for convenience. But actually, the reason why we use that particular retailer is we're confident of the quality of product that's going to turn up. Hiya.
Morning.
Morning. If I'm buying from a shop or it's being delivered from an online retailer, I kind of have an expectation on the retailer to make sure that that product has been prepared properly. Now, some things that you'll buy, you can use straight away, and you know that. Whereas other items that you buy, I don't know, perhaps herbs, something like that, you always know that you've got to wash it before you use it. And of course, you rely on the retailer to give you that guidance on the packaging.
A origem dos alimentos que eu compro nem sempre pode ser claramente estabelecida. Alguns mercados asseguram, a gente fica às vezes um pouquinho de pé atrás. Uma das coisas que eu presto muita atenção ao comprar alguma coisa, seja numa verdura, um legume, uma fruta, no mercado, na feira livre ou no supermercado, é o aspecto, a frescura, determinados traços evidentes de agrotóxico que podem ser detectados, que as folhas ficam muito mais embranquiçadas, né? Os tomates ficam manchados, e eu tento evitar isso. Em restaurante, de preferência, comidas cozidas e não cruas.
Food safety definitely takes priority for me, and it definitely influences where I shop. Now, I do a combination of shopping. I do supermarket shopping. I buy certain dairy products like paneer because I know it comes quite fresh. The refrigeration is very good. That's quite important for me. But sometimes with vegetables, seasonal vegetables, I like to go to the roadside stalls, particularly with spinaches around certain seasons. They have whatever the freshest spinach that has been grown in smaller farm plots that come in. Now these come in the morning, and by about the afternoon they're all sold, so it's quite fresh. And I'm very particular that when it comes into my kitchen, it's properly washed, rinsed, all the sedimentation is removed before it's actually chopped and used for cooking. So there is something about us taking the shared responsibility in global standards of food safety.